Yeah, JR.
Yeah, I ain't been here in a while. That's why.
Please don't curse me out again. Like peace, brother. Like, you know,
You messed up the classic intro.
Yeah, like arm, leg, arm, leg, or head, whatever. You know, peace and blessings. You know, 5%, Brooklyn. You know, I used to stay on South Portland, nigga. I used to be right there by Tech. Like, yo, it's all love, man. I'll bring you a cheesesteak, but let's keep the peace good, brother. All right, we good?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool, let's get started. Oh, God, that's so funny. Still good, y'all. The Apartment 5B podcast, hosted by your man, Kill. I got my squad on deck with me today. We got my man. He ain't been here for a minute. It's nothing but love for him. JR, what's going on, fam?
What's up? What's going on, people?
Man, it's just good to see you, good brother. You know, peace to God.
I appreciate it. You already knew, but I appreciate it. I ain't even gonna bother you. Go ahead.
It's not but love, B, for real. Jace, what's going on, fam?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Everything is everything. I ain't making fun of Tyrese while the rest of y'all out there making fun of Tyrese. I ain't gonna do it. Mental health is plaguing our community on some real shit. I was gonna do a Tyrese joke, but I'm not. So, Nick, what's going on, fam?
Let's get it going, man. Let's get it going, fam.
Get it going. Vague broadcast live with the new iPhone 10. Talk to me, man.
What the hell's wrong with Tyrese?
He crazy.
You ain't seen
I was being facetious.
Oh, I think the crazy out of all of this was just that Will and Jada ain't give him no money. Like, I think that's even crazier than the OG video was. Come to find out.
What more do you want from me?
Here's the thing, because I'm serious. Mental health is real. But did y'all hear? I gotta forward y'all. My man made this Baltimore house song. You see
No.
Y'all wrong for that.
Nah, I'm not doing it. This Words Born to Jesus on some real stuff. I got nothing but prayers for that dude because he's obviously going through something right now. And on the real, you know, we gotta support each other. When people start when Ye start doing that crazy shit, like, we gotta support that nigga. Like I told y'all, ever since Amy Winehouse died, I used to always not make fun of her, but be like laughing when she be performing drunk and everything, not even knowing half the demons she was going through once I seen that documentary. So on some real shit, definitely praying for that brother because, you know, you making fun of somebody one day and the next day, you know, they not here no more. So, you know, nothing but prayers for that dude. Prayerfully, whatever he's going through, you know, could get squashed or whatever like that. That's my PSA for the moment. But we're going to jump right into it. This topic came from my man DJ Iran, who's in with us tonight. But he hit me like, yo, Kill, let's chop it up about albums you weren't feeling at first, but later on you came around to really like. So not that you had to hate them in the beginning and now you love them, but maybe you wasn't feeling in the beginning, but, you know, now you feel a little bit more now. JR, you back in effect. What's one of your first albums that you wasn't feeling when it dropped, but you ended up liking it?
I'm gonna go with another one. Y'all gonna bug out with this one too. I did not get Songs in the Key of Life at first.
I'm not mad at that.
I did not get it. My mom loved the album. The reason why I didn't really get it because it was too damn long. It was long. So like it had you know, I was introduced to Stevie by the 8 tracks for real. So when my mom would play this, she would be like, all right, you gotta put the next one in. I'm like, there's more? Like, come on. I thought this was it. Like, there's more. And she put the second one in. And I'm like, so I ain't even giving no chance. And to be honest, I ain't listened to the second half until I was like 13, 14. I finally listened to the second half, like Black Man and Saturn and all that. Before that, I tuned out. I was done. After Knocks Me on My Feet, I was done. I was like, no, I can't do it. No, now is the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could listen to it straight through now. So, but before then, I couldn't do it. Nope.
JR had enough? Give him some more.
This is not a shot. I think people also got to understand that you was crazy young when that joint, you know, when your mom was playing that. So, again, it's not, that's why I like when you said it, it's like knowing you is not hard to believe because that's a lot for you know, somebody young to intake all of that. You know what I mean?
Right. That was already got to put another 8-track in. Like, come on already. Like, we couldn't get it on one. Like, come on. So yeah, but now I can listen to it all the way through, and I love it. So
Give me some.
All right. Yo, Blake, which one of your joints, man, that you wasn't feeling in the beginning?
I got a similar situation to JR, Nita Baker's Rapture. When it came out, I wasn't no grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? I was what, 11? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think the thing about it that I wasn't feeling was the fact that everywhere I went, people were playing it. In my house, my mother was playing it all the time. Go to my aunt's house on Kirsten in front of Miss Versi. She was playing it constantly. You know what I'm saying? And it was a thing where it wasn't that I didn't like the music. I was just sick of hearing the shit. And when you're young, you know, you're not listening to the lyrics and, you know, the melody, and there's things you're not paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? And later on, when I got a little older, and, you know, of course, being away from it, from hearing it as much as I did when it first came out, I love it. Every record. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those joints that I hate because it's attached to a bad memory. It was just a simple fact that when I heard it, I was too young to accept it. Now, there's some albums that transcend that, because I loved Purple Rain when I was young, and Thriller and Off the Wall. But for some reason, with the Anita Baker joint, and you know what else? I hated the video. You know what I'm saying? Because that came on all the time.
Yo, what was the video? I forgot. What was the video?
I think it's Caught Up in the Rapture. What's the one where I think she just, it's no location or nothing. I think it's like a black set or whatever.
And she just walking around. You talking about?
Yeah.
You talking about Sweet Love? Yep.
Yeah, Sweet Love joint.
Yeah.
Like seeing that video all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of, she signaled this, you know, this disgust for this little kid who felt like, yo, play some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, later on, of course, you know, when I was able to accept it for what it was and listen to it with a new set of ears, more mature ears, I still listen to it to this day. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. Classic. You can listen to every song on there without skipping a beat. Just a dope album. But yeah, initially as a kid, I hated it.
All right, no doubt. Nick, what's another joint you got? Well, which one of your first joints for us?
I'm gonna roll with that joint. I think we discussed that already. You got to remember, at the end of '96, you end off '96 with Hell on Earth, Iron Man, Muddy Waters. I just wasn't ready for the shiny suit rap. I just wasn't ready for it. So I bought it because I'm a fan of Big, gave it a spin. I'm like, half of this album I'm not feeling.
Now, what part was you feeling? Because I know you had to love Kicking the Door and Long Kiss.
Yeah, Kicking the Door, Long Kiss Goodnight, My Downfall, stuff like that I like. But, you know, the Effing You Tonight and You Nasty Boy and all of that kind of stuff, like, that's not what I want from Big. And I know those are the joints that Puff made him do. Like, yo, we need these to sell records. I didn't want that for Biggie. I wasn't ready for the shiny suit. But, of course, by the time Mace came out later that year, I was all on board. But when it first came out, I was not a fan of Life After Death. Like, at all.
I feel you on, like, the Nasty Boy, but Fucking You Tonight, man, that was my anthem. That shit. That was on my answering machine.
Nah, I wasn't. On the answer machine?
I'm like, yo, I guess maybe voicemail. I don't know when the answer machines died and voicemails came out.
And I was only 17 too. So like I was you know, fucking with chicks, but I wasn't playing that for no chick. That's go ahead. Go ahead, baby.
What you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, you know, on behalf of the shiny suits, that shit was for the club. Because
exactly.
If you were 17, I was in college, and Fucking You Tonight, Nasty Boy in the club.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes, if I that's exactly like if I was y'all age, where I'm in the clubs, then the music hit you different.
Yeah.
I'm 17. I ain't in no clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now, but that's funny you said that. But Vegas, right? Like in the club, will make you, will make a song you hate, and you see what's going on at the club too. And then every time you hear that song in the future, it take you
back to that. That Nelly Country Grammar, Grammar, like, bro, get in the club. Cause I was in the club when that was out. Like, I'm like, man, hell no, I want to hear that. When I went to the club and seen the chicks react to Country Grammar, that was my shit. I like Country Grammar. Like, hell yeah, you want to ride with me? Come on, shawty, play that shit. Like, let's go.
Run that back, DJ.
Doing the dance and everything.
Bring that back. Bring that back again. All right, no doubt. Jace, which one of the joints you got, bro?
Oh, man. 2000, 2001, D'Angelo's Voodoo. Coming off of Brown Sugar, it was hard for me to digest, man. It was totally different from the first album. But I would have to say, like, maybe a year after it came out. Maybe a year after it came out, I listened to it all the way through. Like, after one, I didn't really dig it initially. And then on top of it, everybody else was digging it. And I'm like, yo, what is it y'all see? So I'm not listening to it again because I'm not going to be influenced by what y'all saying. And kind of after the hoopla died down around it, I went back and listened to it again. I was like, yo, I really slept on this album. But for me, it was just because it was totally left field from Voodoo.
From Brown Sugar. Yeah.
I'm sorry, from Brown Sugar. And on top of that, I was kind of digging Jill Scott's vibe from her first album right away, initially, too. So.
Yeah, who is Jill Scott? Yeah. Is anybody here like Voodoo more than Brown Sugar?
I do now. Now I do.
Okay.
I think I'm still like it's.
Yeah, I like Brown Sugar more. I like Voodoo. But I like Brown Sugar more.
Me too.
Yeah. It's funny because this app was hard for me because with most hip hop, if I don't like it, nothing almost ever really sway me to like it. And I found myself picking a whole bunch of R&B, and it's funny that Jay said that because it's a perfect segue into this. Because my thoughts is, I feel like R&B people take more chances with their music than hip hop dudes do. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like kind of how Guru said. I think it was on the Moment of Truth. Like, yo, it's just me and Premier. You know, we may do something to the formula, but that's what we gonna get. So it was very hard to ever be disappointed in a Gang Starr album because you was gonna get what you always get, right? What you expect. Whereas with R&B, like Jay said, if you go from Brown Sugar to Voodoo, like those are the times that's like I wasn't feeling it at first because I was expecting this. Same thing when I first got Devil's Pie in the mail. You know, I saw produced by Premier. I put that thing on. I was like, yo, this shit, I don't like this shit at all. Because I was expecting to hear some old neo soul, smooth, you know, soul type thing. But then when the beat came in, I'm like, this ain't. And it's funny because I think Primo said that he had made that beat for Cannabis or something. And Cannabis.
And he passed on it, yeah.
And then D'Angelo jumped on it. Because I was just like, I'm not feeling this. Now, just like everybody else, well, I don't know about everybody else with Devil's Pie, but now I love Devil's Pie. You know, but my initial reaction was, nah, this ain't the D'Angelo I want. You know, I'm expecting the smooth, laid back, higher D'Angelo. And I don't think a lot of hip-hop artists take those kind of chances. So for me, at least, there's not a lot of hip-hop on my list. The one hip-hop joint that I do got that's relatively new, because we was just talking about this a couple of weeks ago, is Rejects 2 by Conway. Because my man Jake was on here talking about how that I like Conway and Westside. I was like, you know, I heard it. Beats, it's too much boom, 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 boom. You know, it's just bad. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Since that episode, that's all I've been fucking listening to is Westside Gun and Conway. Like, that's all I've been listening to. So, like, literally, it went from I don't really know about this because that had to be 2 weeks ago. I probably just listened to it once. I have not stopped listening to anything but that Rejects 2. You know? Like that dude Conway quotables for days. I've even gotten used to the beats. Like they sound good just over them loops. Like they don't. I realize that they don't really need the big stellar production for them to fit what they do. You know what I mean? But what they do is dope. So I would have that would be my first pick. Is that Rejects 2? Because at first I was like, it's all right. They cool. And at first, in Westside Gun, I ain't like dude's voice and nothing. Now, man, that I listened to that SummerSlam '88. Dog, I could listen to that. I could watch the video on repeat forever. But that joint right there is bonkers. So that would have to be one of the first and few hip hop joints I got on my list that I wasn't feeling right off the bat, and now I love. JR, what's another joint for you, bro?
All right, this one me and you actually had an argument about, and I didn't like it at first. I didn't, and I got on you bad about it. I did not like Dangerous at first. No, I didn't.
You said
I did not like it.
Oh, Michael Jackson, Dangerous.
Yeah, Dangerous. I didn't like it. I didn't.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't like it because I think by that time, I think I was still on Boyz II Men, Cooley Eye Harmony. That's what my mom was playing all the time for me.
Mm.
And then Tribes, the Low End Theory had just came out in September, so we were still on that. So when that came out, like when you heard Black or White, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, what? And then remember the time I thought it was all right. I was like, all right, it's cool. But then it was like maybe about 5-6 years later, my uncle had it and he had the CD. And I put it in and I listened to it and I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like Teddy gave him some fire on this. Like this joint is crazy. And from that moment, I loved it. And that's why I will still say again, that it's better than Thriller. And I stick by my statement. Kill.
Right.
Drugs, kill.
Man, I'm going Sugar Hill. I don't want no beef with you, Lolly. Whatever you say. It's better than Thriller, dog. That's what you got. I still can't stand the shit to this day. I'm sorry. You know, Remember the Times is dope. I think the video made it even doper, you know, with all the celeb cameos and everything like that. Big Les killing it. But I mean, I think Mike for me was just done after Thriller. I kind of was good. I didn't need Bad. I didn't need Wesley and the train station. I'm good, but I feel you.
Right, that was kind of corny though.
That shit was corny. Like that. So I've been good with Mike. It's funny because this is really an unpopular statement. I actually prefer the Jackson 5's discography to Mike's discography. Like I will take the Jackson 5 any day of the week over Michael Jackson as a whole. I know I'm popular, but that's just me. You know what I mean? So
that's sacrilegious, my nigga.
Yeah, absolutely. Like now you're on drugs.
I don't know what spell it is that Mike has on everybody. Like, here's the thing I've never seen with any other artist but Mike. Little kids who are like one right now love Michael Jackson. Why? Like, why? How is that possible that every child loves this dude and he's been going for like, I mean, why? How is that even possible? I don't get it.
The entertainment value. Like my daughter, when she was like, 3 or 4, she just liked to see him dance, the weird videos and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say, I think it's like whatever McDonald's got. Like McDonald's got. I'm that serious. McDonald's got something for our kids. McDonald's food is not good, but kids love McDonald's. Why can't nobody ever knock McDonald's out the box? You know what I mean? It's something they got on our kids. Mike got something on our kids, man. No disrespect, but I'll take the Jackson 5 over Off the Ball and Thriller any day of the week.
Oh, not Off the Ball.
It's because Chipotle be having poison in their chicken and their pork. That's why.
Hey, I don't know why people still be going to Chipotle after they could have all these. We get off topic, but we go to Chipotle. They like Chipotle health scare, and it'd be like the next day it still be a line out.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all think I play with y'all. They putting something in the food that keeps us coming back, man. You know what I mean? But neither here nor there. I know it's sacrilegious, but I will say, come on, y'all.
Off the Wall, come on, Off the Wall is fire.
Go. Jill is in radio. I don't think he even believes himself right now. Please.
I do because I do. I'm telling you, I want you back. Stop the love. I'll be there. Oh, come! I will take that.
I think you prefer that.
More than hits. He didn't even say albums though. He said hits.
You're right. You are absolutely right. You're right because they came out in '69. I wasn't born yet, so I only know the hits. I don't know the actual album. So you're right. Vegas. I digress. I'm gonna just shut up because JR is right. Those aren't the albums, so we can't. If we went album for album, then Mike is better. You're right. See that? I don't got no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I got no problem. Y'all right? I'm wrong. Veg, what you got next, bro?
I got Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt.
My fault, man. It's just, yo, I can admit that. Like, me and JR argue all the time, especially when we be doing our congregations once a month. That's all we do is argue all the time. So I don't got no problem. I got no problem. And JR, that's a good point. You're right. All I was naming was the hits. You were right. I am wrong. You won that. You got that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There you go. My fault, Vay. You said Reasonable Doubt?
Yeah, I got Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt.
All right.
I think the reason why initially I didn't like it, because I bought it when it came out, that and It Was Written. I think they came out either the same day or around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like the climate of music and hip hop was a little different, you know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z's beats is what I didn't like on Reasonable Doubt. I kind of felt like compared to some of the beats Nas had going, like The Message and shit like that, and a lot of the other hip hop that was out at the time was just more, it was hitting more. And Jay-Z's beats almost felt low budget and like really subdued for the time, you know what I'm saying? Initially to me. But it wasn't until I really started to just pay attention to the lyrics that kind of made the beats better, because it made me look at him differently. Like, nah, this isn't Big, this isn't Nas, this is Jay-Z. He's coming more from a hustler standpoint, from a Stringer Bell standpoint, as opposed to a Marlo or somebody, you know, street kid.
Mm-hmm.
And with that in mind, the beats are perfect. You know what I'm saying? The beats match the tone of the cover, it matched the tone of the album. Stuff like, you know, Can I Live? I hated Politics as Usual. Now I love that record. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Mainly because the production just wasn't what I was used to hearing. The lyrics, sure, but the production was just really low key. And because when you coming off of Ready to Die and Illmatic and Into the 36 Chambers, think about the production and the producers on there. And now you got an album that has some of those cats, but mostly has like Clark Kent and Ski Beats, who, you know, he was dope, but he wasn't in that Premier and Pete Rock lane, and you know what I'm saying, Buck Wild, especially Buck Wild at the time. But it gave me, his lyrics gave me a greater appreciation for the tracks he chose. I thought it fit the album to a T. And the crazy shit is, it didn't take me long to like it, because initially I didn't like it. And maybe like a week or two later, I started to like it more. But what's even crazier is I was in college when that happened. But maybe a year after that joint dropped, like 97, I found myself listening to that shit, no lie, every day. And I don't know why. Maybe it was because, you know, my binging was stalled by my not liking the beats back when it came out. And every day, you know, before I went to school, I played a whole album. Me and my roommate was like, we would listen to it every day. So it's funny how initially I didn't like it because I didn't like the tone and maybe my expectations got in the way. But it's still hands down my favorite Jay-Z album of all time. So that says a lot.
No doubt, no doubt. Nick, what you got for next for us, bro?
Go roll with Method Man Tikal.
Wow.
Wait, hold up. Did that grow on you like a fungus? Because
I was about to say.
I mean, it's still the least favorite solo Wu album, but I like it better than I did. I think I had a problem with it because like even some of the mixing on this album, it sounded like it was worse than 36 Chambers. I'm like, RZA took a step back. Like I didn't get it, but I like it more than I did then, but it's still like a headphones album. It's not that's another problem I had with RZA. Being from the South, we like to ride out. You can't like this album. You can't ride out to because it's not made for that. It's a headphones album, public transportation. It sound great. You know what I'm saying? You're on the bus, you're on the subway. Tikal sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Hold up, Nick. For us up top viewers, define ride out
Ride
what's
out.
it? Ride out.
Well, you know, Atlanta is spread out, so you gotta have a car. It ain't like New York. So you in the car riding with the windows down, 8-Ball MJG, UGK, stuff like that. Clean mix, low end thumping. That RZA didn't have that in. Actually, Premier don't have a lot of low end in his shit. I've noticed that too, but yeah, RZA on that album, the mixing wasn't on point to me, but I dig the album more now than I did then. It's not a terrible album, but still the least favorite of the solo Wu albums.
See, Nick, now you got me thinking. Like I said,
this episode was gonna be hard for me because, like you, like if I don't like an album, it's not finna except for Nelly Country Grammar.
Right.
But outside of that, outside of that, it's like, yeah, if I don't like an album, it's not gonna grow on me.
No, but you got me thinking just in terms of, like you said, that you feel like it's not a ride out album. I'm just thinking regionally how that's different, because in New York, in Philly, you on the train, you on the bus, you know, and I'm just now wondering, I wonder if producers made music on purpose that way. Like, is that a purpose? Or
I think so. You made music for your environment, because hip hop was regional back then. That was the great thing about it. Like, I could go to New York and it sound like New York. I don't want to hear Atlanta shit when I'm in New York. It ain't like that no more.
Right. All right, that's a good point. Jace, what you got up next?
Man, that just made me forget what I was going to say. But another sophomore album for me that grew on me initially. I'm sorry, not initially, but grew on me. It took a little time to grow on me. Was Maxwell's Embryo, coming off the Urban Hang Suite.
Yes,
I remember hearing about that.
Yes,
I was not feeling that right away, man, and that took me a minute. But there was an incident that changed all of that right away. So. Yeah, I had something to link it to. I had positive reinforcement, so I was good at
it. Now, I can tell by the look on his face is a good thing. Yeah, Country Grammar is a personal top 10 album for me now.
Let me find out.
I'll joke.
I feel you. Embryo was one of mine. Because I was late on the Maxwell kick because I was at EAA and Beg. I don't know if you remember India who used to be on air, but she loved Maxwell, and D'Angelo was my dude. And we'd argue every day. I'm like, yo, D's better than Max. So I really didn't hear Urban Hang Suite like right when it came out. You know what I mean? I was a late bloomer with that joint. Not on some old. When I listened to it, I loved it. I just didn't listen to it for a minute. So as soon as Embryo dropped, I copped it, and I was just like, nah. Like, you know what I mean? And then the joint with him in the bathtub. I was like, yo, I ain't feeling this vibe. Like, you in the bathtub. Like, this ain't vibe. Definitely, like, when I go back and listen to it, like, I love the joint. I love it musically. You know, I definitely can dig it. But I'm with you, Jace. When I first heard it, I was like, nah, like, if I could take this back to Sound of Germantown, I most definitely would have tried to. But any place that's the sound of Baltimore, if it's the sound of, you ain't taking shit back. They don't. This is not saying good. This is not Tower. The sound of Martin, the sound of Germantown, the sound of West Baltimore, you know, Beach Street in Brooklyn, they're not taking shit back. You know? They're not. So I just couldn't get enough. But after a while, Embryo did grow on me. Another joint that I did not like originally, that I loved to death, Amy Winehouse's Back to Black. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling it off the bat because I think it's always about when people just talk something up like it's the greatest thing ever. And at that time, that's all Quest was talking about was Amy Winehouse and this Amy Winehouse and the way she could sing. And, you know, so my ears is like ready for this phenomenon. And I heard it, I was like, I don't like this shit. You know what I mean? And, you know, I forgot what was the first single, but I ain't like that shit. But then just, what happened, JR?
It was Rehab.
Nah, it was something else. Something else was the first single. Like, You're No Good. Is that the name?
Oh, yeah, you know, I'm no good. That's right.
I wasn't feeling that. Then when Rehab came out, I was like, I'm feeling this. Then I don't know if y'all remember, they had this show on Showtime called The Secret Life of a Call Girl about this shorty who was a prostitute, and that You Know I'm No Good was the theme music for that. So just I think listen. What happened?
Really?
It's a show about a prostitute, so I'm gonna watch it.
And this is how you like, oh God.
I'm giving you the backstory on how I liked the joint. It was a joint. And after a while, I was like, yo, this joint all right. And then when I heard Back is Black and Black, and now I just love the album to death, you know, but I just remember it first dropping. And I think it was just off of expectations, because whenever somebody is just like, this is the greatest thing since a chicken cheesesteak at Max's, and then when I hear it and it's not, again, those expectations. And like I said earlier, you really only get those a lot in R&B. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for me at least. And like Nick said, the stuff I don't like, I usually never turn around to. Like another great example of that is Little Brother. I'm not a fan. I will never be a fan. I didn't like them when they came out. I didn't like the minstrel show. I didn't like the clapback or whatever the fuck came after that. I've never been a fan. I never will be a fan. Niggas have tried to kidnap me and make me. Like people come to my crib like, nah, I'm putting this shit in. We gonna listen to this together. And I'm just sitting there like this. Like, can I leave? So yeah, most of the times if I don't like it, I'm not getting swayed, especially with hip hop. But that's my second joint, Back to Black. Vague, what's another? I mean, my bad, JR. What's another joint you got?
Shoot, I got like I'm gonna say the first one I didn't like was "Soul of a Woman" by Kelly Price. I couldn't get down with it, and it's crazy because my pops had it, and my pop's not a big R&B head. He's like the friend of mine, so he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna cop the joint." So when he put it in, it really didn't catch me because during that time, Lauren was out, Brandy came out. You had who else was out then? You had, I think we had A Trace of My Lipstick was out. All those type of albums was out. So when Kelly Price came out with hers, it was just like, nah, I ain't feeling it. It didn't catch me. But then maybe literally, I say about 5-6 years later, yo, I was like, yo, Kelly Price did some singing on there. All I got to say is she had that pizza and Diet Coke outside of that studio when she did every song. I don't care. She did singing on that, huh?
What are you talking about, pizza and Diet Coke? What does that mean?
God, she was in that studio singing, so I know she was hungry after she did it. Don't know. Hell no. She was, listen, in that little box, she's singing. I know she was hungry. In that
I'm gonna use that.
Was waiting for that.
This is a wild one.
Piece in.
I said that. It's all fucked up. Why you gotta call her fat? Why she gotta be hungry?
I didn't call her fat. You call her fat. I just said she was waiting on the pizza and Diet Coke outside the studio. You called her fat. I never said that.
No, you are not alleging.
How to do it?
No. Time out. You are not alleging that she's fat. I ain't never heard you say no shit about, oh, Mary saying and she wanted the pizza when she got out the booth.
I never said she was fat. You said it. You said it. I did.
I ain't never heard you said, yo, Faith got out the booth and wanted some Sour Patch Kids. Like,
why? First of all, Kill, you tried to say the rule. That was your comeback for this. You tried. I give you an A for effort for that one. You tried.
She got out the booth.
I give you an A for effort because you tried that for real. Sour Patch Kids, like, come on, Kill, you could do better than that. But
y'all ain't hear Vague.
Yeah, she don't like that kind of candy. She like nose candy. You mean a mirror $1 bill rolled up?
Oh God.
Oh God.
All right, JR.
Oh, man. I love Faith.
All right, JR. You did not call her fat, but yo, on some real shit, you were alleging that. You were alleging.
I'm not saying nothing. You got to read between the lines. If you would have just kept quiet, everybody got it, but you just want to just put it out there so you can just say it. Let it ride because everybody got it. I was saying with the joke, but you wanted to come out. Oh, you was calling her fat. Anyway, now I like the album. The album is dope. Kelly Price is singing on that. It's a dope debut. I like it, and that's
what it is. It's like saying, like, yo, I know when Big Pun laid that verse, he had that KFC waiting for him. Like,
okay, but fine. Everybody got it, but why would you say it? That's what I'm saying. It could be implied. It can be implied, but you were gonna sit up there and say it. You made it worse. You should have just let it ride, but of course you didn't. You had to come out and say, "Yes, you was calling her fat." Really?
I'm just saying, because when I do that, forget it.
No. If you would have did that, I would have let it ride. I'd have let it ride.
Right. I'm gonna let. That's my problem. I don't allege shit. I say that's my problem.
Exactly. See, I know you're missing a lot of stuff because I ain't been on in a while, so I get it. I get it.
Yo, y'all gonna help me start alleging stuff. We ain't gonna call Escape ugly. We gonna call them something. What should I allege, JR? That when they got out the booth, they needed makeup more.
Okay, you think Candy ugly? Oh no,
he said all of them.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying anything. I'm quoting Big. I'm not saying anything about Escape. Okay.
He already did it. Go back to the podcast. He said it. There's no need. You call them all ugly. Exactly. He could have said a joke and kept it moving. He called them ugly.
Look at Big.
Look, I ain't checking for Tiny or them other two chicks. I don't know them.
Bless their hearts. That's all. Just bless their hearts. That's all. That's all you should say. You could have said that. That's it. But,
oh God, you know what? I'm laughing because I just see something about that in the church when there's an ugly baby. Like, God bless her heart. God bless you, doing this hard. So, all right.
I'm done. Y'all go ahead. I'm done.
Okay, cool. Vag don't allege shit. So, Vag, what you got up next, man?
Damn sure don't.
Who I got up next? I got Ghostface, Iron Man.
What?
Yeah, man. Sorry
let's snap somebody that laugh real quick.
Sorry to crush your dreams, but
Yo, hurt.
When I first heard it, this is coming off of Only Built for Cuban Links 2. On 36 Chambers, I wasn't really a fan of Ghost, except for Can It Be. So Only Built for Cuban Link, I started to like him a little bit more. And then when I saw they were going to do the same thing that they did for Ray album, but have like Ghost featuring Ray and Capadonna, I'm like, yo, this shit about to be hot. And I found myself skipping a lot of records. Now, of course, the standout records that everybody liked, sure, I like them, like Can May and Fish, and the joint with Mary J. What's the name of that one? All I Got Is You.
All I Got
Is You. Like, yeah, I love those records. But as a whole, I felt a little disappointed with the album. And again, I think it was just really the climate in which it came out. There was a lot of shit going on in hip hop. There was a lot of heavy hitters dropping. It was the mixtape scene was crazy with exclusives. So it was kind of like everybody was vying for your money, for your attention. I think Redman dropped Doc's the Name at the same time, and I was a huge Redman fan, so I was trying to like that album. So I wasn't really, giving Ghost his due. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until later when I listened to it, I realized how many records I actually did like on that album. And especially when I listen to it to this day, I don't know if it's a little bit of nostalgia or what, but I really like it. You know what I'm saying? It grew on me. And it, again, it's funny how a lot of what I have down here and some of the stuff I mentioned was, when I was in college. You know what I'm saying? Because there was just a lot going on. And if your shit wasn't hitting, like when I heard Redman Muddy Waters, you know what I'm saying? That's attention grabber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like Ghost's album was grabbing my attention like that, especially not in the way that Supreme Clientele did. But today, it's not an album I dislike at all. I really love it. Kind of mad I didn't appreciate it as much when it first came out. But yeah, man, Ghostface, Iron Man debut. It's funny how those things work, man. How you know, if you're a music lover and you can go back to certain joints that you kind of like, and you can hear what the artist was trying to express, no matter how long it took, man, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? To experience that. So,
all right. No doubt, Nick. What's another joint you got, bro?
This one is a funny one because Justin Timberlake's debut, the Justified album. So at the time, I was working at the record store, and there was this.
Hold tight for a second, Nick. JR,
I said it. Fuck Justin.
Yeah. Fuck him, because if he don't
y'all know exactly why I mean fuck Justin.
Yeah, if he don't apologize to Janet on the Super Bowl,
okay.
With the Justified album, it was a younger white chick working who was a fan of that teeny bop shit that was going on. So she wanted to play it. We working that night. She's like, I want to listen to the new Justin album. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Play that another night when I'm not working with you. It was that kind of thing, right? So fast forward a couple of weeks, like I didn't like the album just because like I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Right.
We working again. She don't say nothing. She just pop it in. So I'm bobbing like just 2 songs in, bobbing 3 songs. You get to the 4th song, I'm like, what is this? She's like, Justin. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Let me see that CD. And I'm like looking at the credits, and I'm like, Neptunes and Timbaland, Brian McKnight. So, all right, this white boy went and did the right thing. So that's an album that I didn't even give a chance at first because of the artist that I end up enjoying. Not my favorite Justin album, but like I said, Neptunes, Timbaland.
Here's a funny story about that album. I heard Timbo was producing it. At that time, whatever Timbaland touched, I'm in on. And I used to always go to Tower Records. If cats are watching in DC, they know GW Campus had a Tower Records. And I always would go over there and chop it up with the hip hop people over there. And I remember telling my wife, like being like, yo, baby, I need you to go to the record store and buy this shit for me. Because I don't want nobody seeing me. It was like that. It was like I'm not walking into this store
and buying Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I was wrong.
No, go ahead. We had this conversation before. That's why I'm like, dude, don't even want to walk it.
I'm not going in the store copping no Justin Timberlake out. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I mean, with Timber on it, I'm good money. And you know the sad thing is, and this is gonna piss y'all off. Yo, I may be the only black person who don't care if Justin don't apologize to Janet. I mean,
man, he got to, man. Because he was part of it. He ain't getting none of the backlash.
Would you have wanted the backlash?
Scot-free.
What happened?
He got away scot-free.
Oh, what I'm saying.
He pulled them titties out.
All right, so they had a plan to rip out the titty, right? To make the right. They had the plan. Then Janet got in trouble.
I know that was planned.
It was planned. Yeah. Janet got in trouble for it. Justin didn't, right? And y'all are mad because maybe I did too much dirt in my day. There's a lot of times that niggas got caught and I didn't get caught and I got away scot-free and I sleep good at night. Like that shit don't bother me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but in this case, you got a white dude and a black woman.
I was just about to say this is race.
Take some of them shots.
This is race.
Take some of them shots.
So you're saying, I get you. So what you're saying,
America let him slide because he white.
So you're saying, I get it. So from a racial standpoint, you're saying he should have
funded
Janet.
They piled on the black woman, let the white dude slide.
All right, and
especially when said white dude's solo career is based off of black producers.
Okay.
I mean,
he like using our culture and shit.
Now you're ready to separate yourself from us in the whole situation because it might mess up, your good time.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not and it was his fucking song. So that Had You Naked by the end of this song, that was a Janet record. That
was his joint.
Record. The one thing that we're all forgetting, gentlemen, this is Penny.
Well,
exactly. That's
well, we're all forgetting that was a very good titty that came out.
Yeah, but very good.
Somebody gotta acknowledge this shit. I was on the internet the next day, like, damn, they done blanked the shit out. I want to see it again in real time.
All right, yo, everybody, all right, chill. JR ain't laughing, y'all. So let's move on.
No.
JR sees this shit right now. So it's like, yo,
Because it was not planned. That's the thing. It was not planned at all.
Wait a second. You tell me Jenna ain't know his name.
No, he ripped off the whole piece.
Yeah, I think he got a little too happy.
Right, the whole team was supposed to come out. He ripped the whole thing off. It was supposed to be a late.
Look, you can't.
I mean, I had to look. Now listen, I didn't mind it. Listen, like Beg said, that was a nice titty that popped out. I ain't gonna start for real, but that was not planned. And then, like y'all said, he basically used black producers. It was his song, and he ain't getting no flack from it. And he got the nerve to ban Janet, but not ban him. Exactly. That's my problem. And then Justin ain't apologized. And then he tried to throw a shot at her in the Give It To Me song with him, Timbaland, and what's the girl named Nelly Furtado. And he threw a shot at Janet for talking about it on Oprah. So he can go ahead somewhere. Even though it's dope.
I didn't even catch that. CJ
He took a shot at her. Listen to Give It To Me with him, Timbaland.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep. And he took a shot at her and Prince.
So, you know, we might have to say fuck Timbaland too. You letting them take shots.
Exactly. That's my problem with Tim. I'm like, really? And the song that they're on together, you produce.
Yeah, you letting them take shots at Janet.
First album with him.
Not a good look.
Man, all right. We get racial right now. We get into racial. Let's. You know, that's my bad.
I ain't even gonna start though. I ain't even gonna start 20 experiences and shit. I ain't even gonna start. But
just the reason why I can't listen to Genuine no more. He took all the Genuine beats. Well, joke.
Jace, what you got up next, man? Oh no, yeah, Jace, what you got?
Get Rich or Die Trying. I ain't like it when it first came out. Oh, there was too much. I could. I like the his album that came out before that.
With the Power of the Dollar. Yeah.
Power of the Dollar. I actually rock with that. But Get Rich or Die Trying, it was too much hoopla around everything outside of the music.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, at that point, it was like, yo, is this man really good, or is everybody just excited because of
he got shot 9 times?
Yeah, the high school, popular. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, for me, that was kind of the downslope of certain music, man, pop culture. But that's a whole nother story. I digress. But I go back and listen to that now. That's perfect gym music for me, yo. That is perfect energy lifting music for me. If I need to get, go ahead, Kill.
No, I was gonna ask because I know people who categorize music like that. So do you think it's a dope album or it's a dope gym album? Because to me, those are two totally different things. I know people listen to Nothing But Future and Trap when they in the gym because they get some hype. But they like, I would never listen to that shit, you know.
Yeah, I heard that too.
You know what I mean? So where does Get Rich or Die fall in your realm? Like, is that good music, period? Or that's just good music to listen to or whatever?
The In the Club is good for anybody 50 and over that needs a song to dance to for their birthday. They want a good intro. The rest of the album for me is good for distance running, a heavy bag, or doing some power lifting.
All right, no doubt. This dude.
And speaking about 50, how he just wore that shot 9 times thing like a fucking badge of honor.
Yes,
you know, if Black Thought put his public life out there like that, I think he would have a larger fan base.
Wait, hold on,
because
Nick, before you go any further, Kill Don't Start. Listen to Nick and just let it go.
I'm not gonna say shit.
All right.
Both of his parents is murder victims. Man, he had a fucked up childhood.
Yeah.
Like if he put that to the forefront, like 50 did that 9 shots, I think Black Thought will be more widely accepted by the casual listener.
But see, to me, this is the 2000 hip hop because I'm like Jay, like I respect the shooter. Like, I don't respect the nigga who gets shot. So to me, I never understood that hoopla of niggas doing that. Like the whole 50 I've been shot. Like, I know a lot of nut ass niggas who've been shot. Like, getting shot, like, no bad. Like, when did that become a? But that's what I mean by this whole.
Well, no, like Tupac. That's why Tupac got shot 5 times, survived. When he got shot again, everybody, that's Tupac. He gonna make it.
But again, I just came up in an era where, like Jay said, we respect the shooter. I don't respect somebody who got shot. Like, I respect the person who did the shooting. Like, who watching The Wire respected anybody that Weebay killed or that Chris and Snoop killed? Nobody. You respected Chris and Snoop for the work that they was putting in, or you respected Bay for the work that he put in. You wasn't like, yo, I respected that nigga such and such who Weebay. Like, nah, you don't respect the nigga. Same thing with Game. Oh, niggas came in and they shot me up. It's like, I don't get that shit. Like,
the shooter got too though. Eventually.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, I'm old. Babe, what was you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I don't think we could categorize that album as being dope because of him getting shot or this popularity. Because, like we said on the other podcast, the mixtapes is what got him the noise in pop culture, and the connection with Dr. Dre and Eminem is what got the mainstream to look at him. Yeah. But there's nothing pop culture about the first song being fucking Blood's Call Out and shit. What up, Blood? What up? Like, and I think it was just a dope album that can fall into a gym category, that can fall into a get ready for a party category. It's not one of those albums you kind of, you sit with and it's a lot there content wise. It's really more like a mood album. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're feeling this kind of mood, you listen to it. I don't think it's aged well because not that it's bad. It's just that it's so much of a sign of that time. And all that hype and all that people loving 50, because I think sometimes as hip hop fans, when the corny motherfuckers start liking it, we don't like it. You know, we get tired of it. Yeah. It's kind of like that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, lyrically, he wasn't saying nothing different from the Future's 50 mixtapes and Power of a Dollar album.
And some of those songs was on Get Rich or Die Trying.
Like Life's on the Line and shit like that. But yeah, man, like anybody who likes 50 because he got shot 5 times ain't used to being around gunfire or somebody getting shot and shit like that. Cause but like you said, Kill, nobody really respects it, nigga. You happy the nigga alive, but you don't be like, yo, nigga, you got shot. You got shot, my nigga. Yeah. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who
does that? It's crazy because I think that's what I'm like this post 2000. Like, even with my teams, like when they get shot, like they come back to the hood on crutches like a fuck, like they just won the lottery. Like, you the thoroughest nigga in the hood now. It's like that's their badge of honor. Like, you know what I mean? To the point that, like, when my kids call me, like, yo, such got shot. Like, one of my girls called me from college and was like, man got shot. She texted me. And I just sat there. I finished cutting my hair. I was fucking making some beats before I even called her back because they always get shot. You know what I mean? So it's not just a life or death situation. It wasn't like, yo, my brother got shot. And I'm like, yo, what happened? I'm like, yeah, I'll call you in a couple of hours. He good. So I think it's just this generation that, getting shot and shit like that. But I mean, because Game was the same way. Like, I don't know how many times he dropped on the and how many times he talked about getting shot. As much as I love Conway, he talks about, getting shot a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, cool, but neither here nor there.
I got a story. I got a story about that though. Before we keep what he said about corny people liking it. Like, that album was so hyped because that was like my last year at the record store, and I'm talking about like white dudes in suits coming in there. Well, let me get the rapper that Eminem. That's how they was asking for it. Like that turned me off too. Like, this motherfucker listening to it. Hell no, I don't want this album. Here you go, white. I don't want. Hell no, this dude listening to it. And also,
like, who the rapper fit who Eminem signed?
Because when Jay-Z put out the Hard Knock Life, they was coming in the record store, what's that song with the Annie sample? That's how these white people were asking for it.
Wow.
So when 50 Cent got signed by Dr. Dre and Eminem, it was like Eminem's artist. That's how they was asking for the album.
Man.
That turned me off. Just like, this cat listening to it. Nah.
It personifies what the culture is not supposed to be when it becomes that.
Exactly.
Right.
And like when cats like that be too giddy over black culture and the violence, I have a problem with that.
We looking at you,
personally.
Vlad TV.
Exactly.
Come on.
He's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Freeway came out. I don't know if it was the same day, but around that same time. He ain't getting no shine, but I like that album too.
Oh yeah.
But the 50 was dope. It was just that experience of being in the store and seeing these corporate white dudes come in asking for the album like that. I was like, I don't like these cats liking the music.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm gonna bang out two of mine real quick. Still R&B, like I said, ain't too much hip hop. Ain't Nobody Worrying, Anthony Hamilton's second album. It took me a minute to get on that. Just because I think that coming from where I'm from was my shit. Like that was just 5 mics from the door. And Ain't Nobody Worrying. I remember popping it in. I wasn't feeling a lot of production, but now when I go back and listen to it now, I love it to death. Another joint, Airtight Revenge, Bilal's third album. You know, I remember getting that. I was writing for this website, Couch Sessions, and I remember getting it to review it. And I called my homegirl up, like, yo, I can't review this shit. Like, this sound like a bunch of shit. I don't know what the fuck. So, like, yeah, I literally was like, yo, I can't review. Like, I don't have nothing to say at all. Like, I'm confused. Like, that would be my review. Like, I'm fucking confused. But after, like, you know, she was like, yo, just live with it for a minute. But that's the thing that I'm not used to doing, is having to live with music for a minute. You know, I come from an era, again, 88, you put on Ain't No Half Stepping. There was no, just let that shit grow on you. Like, yo, let this raw grow on you. Let this Paid in Full or this Illmatic grow on you. Like, I don't come from that mindset, but after letting it grow on me, I actually really do like Airtight Revenge. And the last album I got is this white cat. Cat's never heard about him. His name is Lewis Taylor. He's a dope artist. I remember getting him back in the day, way back in the 2000s on OK Player. They were talking about him, likening him to D'Angelo a little bit. So around that time, I was like, yo, anybody who's like D, I'm buying it. Went to Tower, bought it. I didn't like it. Like years later, and I mean like 10 years later, I'm making this mixtape, like a blue-eyed soul artist. And I put it out, and one of my people on Twitter got at me like, yo, you could have used some Lewis Taylor on there. I was like, nah, I don't really fuck with dude like that. He was like, yo, go back and listen to that album. And like, I went back and listened to that album. That album is the shit. So,
what's his name?
His name is Lewis Taylor, and that's the name of the album. I'll send it to cats if y'all want it.
Okay.
It's hard to find, so I'll email it out. But yeah, like I said, it went from me like liking one song on there to like damn near liking the whole album. So those are the rest of my albums. Greg, you got any more? JR, you got any more artists or albums or anything?
Yeah, I got I can name down my 4. Butterfly by Mariah. I didn't like it when it first came out. I wasn't a fan of it. It didn't do nothing for me. But now it's like my second favorite Mariah album. Aphrodisiac by Brandy. Did not like it. Had a reason not to like it because as a fan, she lied and said she was married and all that mess and all that drama happened. As a fan, that pissed me off. So I was like, nah, I ain't with it. So I ain't listened to that album till 2008. So finally, when I listened to it, the album is dope. Make It Big by Wham. Okay. I remember when my mother played that album the first time, I was like, Mom, cut this off. What is this? Like, it did nothing for me because, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting raised in a soul family. I'm like, what is this? So when she started playing that Madonna and Wham and all this, I was like, Mom, this junk is whack. Like, what are you playing? But when I got older, yo, Make It Big is dope. Like, take away Wake Me Up Before You Go, because that joint is kind of corny. But like Everything She Wants, Careless Whisper, like then he did the Osley Brothers, If You Were There joint. Like that album is dope. So I rock with that. And then I'm gonna take it to the rock. It was Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. My mom is a big Bruce Springsteen fan, so she liked The River, Nebraska, Tunnel of Love, and Born in USA. But when she played Born to Run, I was like, all right, Ma, I've had enough. Please, I can't take it. But then now I even got it on vinyl now. That album is dope. Like it's a dope, and it's a favorite. It's a top 20 of mine. So those are right there.
Yo, I have never heard a Bruce Springsteen album a day in my life.
Give it a spin, man. Give it you like any rock albums? You like any rock?
I mean, I like a lot of. Well, see, here we go with different genres. How do we define rock? Is Duran Duran rock? I love fucking Duran Duran. But are they rock?
I guess so. More new wave.
Right.
I mean, in the 80s, Duran Duran is my shit. You know, Rio, the Arena Tour. I love Duran Duran to death.
I would say like the Clash. That's rock.
Clash. Really I never got with like them Clash type niggas. You know what I mean? Like I was more like the Men at Work, you know, type shit. The Eurythmics. I say the Eurythmics.
Eurythmics to my Annie Lennox.
You like the new wave. You like that new
wave. You like that. Yeah.
But see, keep in mind that back in 80, 83, 84, all we had was Friday night videos and MTV. When MTV first came out, that's all they played was white music. You know, we only saw white on Run DMC and Prince. Like, that was it. So all we got for the 24.
You like Blondie?
Like who?
Blondie.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, I heard Born in the USA. I was like, nah, I'm gonna pass on this shit. But I understand that that's single, so but it is what it is. Hey, you got any other joints left, me?
Yeah, I got Common's Electric Circus. Took me a minute, didn't like it when it came out, but listened to it maybe 2 years ago. And I just think when the album was released, it was just released at the wrong time. But it's actually a really good album for Common. I got 112's second album, Room 112. Initially, I didn't like it because I don't think Slim was singing the lead on everything like he did on the first album.
That's true.
So it sounds different to me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 112 to me. And I can't remember the dude's name. His name is Q or something like that. I can't remember the dude who started singing the lead, but he was kind of the dude that was in the background. And I was like, damn, I like his voice. You know what I'm saying? Like he could sing. And you know, that album kind of grew on me over time, even though initially I didn't really like it. Kanye West's Graduation, and it wasn't because beats weren't dope. I just wasn't feeling all that college slander shit he was doing, particularly the black sororities and fraternities. I just wasn't feeling that shit because it felt like a dude who found himself like an outcast somewhat, or at least he felt that way. I don't know if anybody made him feel that way, and this was his get back. But it wasn't just that. I didn't like the message he was sending to any potential young kids who might go to school, that they could be like him, because everybody can't be like you. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was a little ignorant to make an album like that, and I didn't think it was conceptual. Because Kanye wears his feelings on his sleeve, so I felt like that ain't no concept. That's how that nigga feel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But nevertheless, all the bangers that's on there, All Falls Down, like, you know what I'm saying? I still love it to this day. 3 more. Group Home's Living Proof. I think it's obvious why I didn't like that when I first heard it, because I was like, these two whack ass rappers.
Psych.
Even though I
because it wouldn't be Living Proof.
Yeah, even though I liked that when he appeared on Gangstar's album, but I just kind of felt like, damn, I really don't like. Why Premier give these niggas all these hot beats and shit?
Yeah, man.
But the crazy part about that album is those beats are so fucking hot. You're gonna like the songs anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why I wound up liking that. Cormega's The Realness. I was not a Cormega fan whatsoever. I didn't want to hear shit about no dusty ass nigga telling me like, yo, Dunn got the dope rock. I didn't want to hear it at all. And I am not going to lie. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his personality. It's not necessarily like lyrical skill or anything like that when it comes to Cormega. It's just the reality from which he comes from. and he rhymes about it. It's the conviction in his words. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of rappers that talk a lot of shit, that say a lot of things, and you don't feel like they mean it. Like Drake. Like even when Drake is dissing Meek Mill, I feel like if he see Meek, he probably gonna get fucked up by Meek. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
because
he definitely gonna get fucked up by Meek.
Yeah, like I believe even though Meek punching that punch.
Oh yeah, that heavy bag.
He can't throw no hands. But
you're right. You're right.
Just speaking to the conviction in the verses, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, that's an asset that a lot of dudes don't really like take advantage of when they spit their rhymes. Is, you know, do people believe you even if it's not your story? And lastly, Mary J. Blige's "Strength of a Woman." I didn't hate it. It just was that I didn't like the 2 albums that came before then. And I'm a huge Mary J. Blige fan. And she just was catching L's all over the place. She dancing for burgers and chicken and shit on tables.
Don't start.
She
Don't
sang,
start.
She said, "I'm gonna keep going, Jeff." She's singing like a damn mammy to
Don't
the
start.
person who lost to Donald
No,
Trump.
no. Mm-mm.
We had to come on, JR. You could have stayed home. You can't take the heat. Stay out the kitchen, nigga.
No, fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, when you're a huge fan of somebody,
I get it.
and you coming up with your own excuses for their behavior. After a while, you got to be like, nah, man, this shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like with Strength of a Woman, I was already past like that kind of content. But I think because of her situation, because of the production, and I just felt like it was old Mary again once I started to really listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it stays that way. But I feel like, you know, when I initially heard it, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I could be a fan anymore. But now, you know, I really like the album. There. Look, man, I don't play that dancing for chicken shit, fam.
Listen,
Pro-black.
I hate that commercial. Like, as a fan, I was pissed in that commercial. Like, when that commercial came out, I did not tweet at all. That day, I did not tweet. I didn't say a word. I was pissed at that commercial. I didn't say shit.
Here's the thing.
Like, no.
The funny thing that I think about Mary is, for Mary to be successful, in my opinion, throughout time, I think she has to play a certain role. And that role is heartbreak. That's where we want to Mary. You know,
unfortunate, but yeah, I agree with that.
Everybody liked the breakthrough, though. So I don't understand, because the breakthrough is happy. That's happy.
I don't know what it is, but I just think that Mary has to play. I just think that's where it's kind of like with Jay. It's not to say Jay can't make a club banger, but
yeah, I get it.
Jay with the streets.
Yeah.
So it's not to say Mary can't make a happy album, but if she got 14 of them shits and niggas really only feeling 4 or 5, the facts are that she's gonna have to play this role. So Mary's music can't really can't reflect what she's going through in real life, unless it's a heartache. So even if she's in love and happy, we gotta get sad songs because that's what she does. She can't be that artist who we don't want her for that.
Yeah, I remember when Angie told her that in the interview, and Mary was like, "Damn, that's so unfortunate, but it's the truth." Like, she even admits it. Like,
she's gonna have to play that role if she wants to keep the fan support, because it's obvious that's where we like her at. So, hard pill to swallow. You can either do that or you can fucking go get a 9 to 5. Choice is yours.
Yeah. Plus, one more thing. I think the thing with her too, I think she got to the point where she experimented with too many different producers.
I heard that before too.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was cool when it worked, like when she wasn't with Puff and, you know, Babyface and them and laced her, and it worked in a couple of instances. But I think, like you said, Kill, like, you know, sure, your lyrics may have to be about this, but I think her sound needed to remain at least somewhat similar to what her signature was, so that it didn't sound that different. And that's what I like about the breakthrough. It's like What's the 411, but it's happier. You know what I'm saying? So it's still sonically, it still kind of has that vibe of not what's the 411, My Life. Sonically, it kind of has that same traditional Mary vibe, but it's not like them other albums where she was like really going hard in the happy, you know, the dancery bullshit. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Whatever that is, where you looking like a bird and shit, but don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And whatever those last two joints, the Michael Jackson shit. I was trying to get JR to pop. I was trying to.
Yeah, I knew you were. You wanted me to pop so bad. I knew you did. I knew you did. I was like, no, I know where he going, but I was like, all right.
Yeah, that was it. That's all right.
Nick, what you got left, bro?
Gangstar, the album you love, The Owners. And my problem with that at the beginning was the 5-year gap, because we had 4 years between Hard to Earn and Moment of Truth. Mm-hmm. Between Moment of Truth and The Owners, you got 5 years, and then when you hear it, it's like this is like Moment of Truth light. But once you get past that, it's a good album. It's a good album. And another one was Mobb Deep's Infamy. And for obvious reasons, because Prodigy was flustered after the takeover. You can just hear it. He just frustrated all through that album. Mm-hmm. But Havoc's production was pretty solid on there. And Havoc himself lyrically stepped it up. He like better than P on that album.
No doubt. And that's all you got?
One more. Still a bad album, but I think I like 6 songs instead of 3 now.
Hey, double down. Hey, you gotta take it with you where you can get it, bro. Jace,
this may be over y'all head, but the Greg Kihn band from like 1980s, early 80s.
Gotta write that down.
The Greg Kihn band. It was like this white rock band. They had this one song called Jeopardy, and I remember watching this as a kid on MTV, where the dude is about to get married, and they're in a church. Like everybody turns to demons, and I think I was like 4 or 5 years old.
You said Jeopardy? Like, is this the one that Will Al Yankovic changed I Lost on Jeopardy?
I think so.
Like
I Lost on Jeopardy. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, they did the original.
Okay,
look that up.
The Greg Kihn band. Greg Kihn was K-I-H-N. Greg Kihn band. That used to mess with me as a kid, man. I remember watching that like 2, 3 in the morning at 5, 6 years old on MTV, and it just messed me up. But I love it now. I couldn't get the concept down as a kid. It was just the visuals that went along with it just kind of tore me apart. And ironically enough, I love horror flicks now. Jay-Z's we talked about this before. Dang it. What was the name of the album? Kingdom Come. I love Kingdom Come now. When it first came out,
this the one. What's on Kingdom Come?
Nothing, my nigga. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
The Lost Ones is on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The joint about Katrina, Beach Chair. There's a lot of introspective tracks on that album, and I kind of dug that. But the execution at the time, I don't think it was what everybody was expecting. Plus the climate, there was a lot
right after retirement
getting shot at by like there was a big beef between him, Dame, and Dipset at the time, and it was just like it wasn't what I was expecting. But I thought it was pretty grown. Now I can appreciate it.
So that's the one right before American Gangster, then, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
The other one was Big's first album, and again that was because Juicy. Yeah, I couldn't get past them trying to flip the them Toomey joint, and I forgot that who he was, because initially it was Biggie Smalls to me. It wasn't Notorious B.I.G. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kill, but the Matty C article that was in the source, it had him as Biggie Smalls, or did it have him as Notorious B.I.G.?
No, it was Biggie Smalls.
Because I think the whole thing with that was the whole copyright infringement from that movie. He didn't get to be the Notorious Big, so after he got signed and everything like that.
Yeah, and I couldn't put the two together. We talked about that a little bit earlier, Vegas. Some of the stuff you've done, mixtape. Sir, go ahead.
Y'all ever seen the dude who had the copyright? You ever seen his music?
Nah.
Because the crazy part was before they made that change, the reason, and probably the reason why it was like that in the source, everybody didn't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was still calling him Biggie Smalls. And I didn't know he was the Notorious B.I.G. also. But I remember going to the record store in BK, and it's funny because, you know, like when you're in the hood, niggas don't pull no punches. So I'm like, oh, a Biggie Smalls single. But the cover's looking kind of fishy, like, you know, it's the 90s, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I go take it. He was like, you want Biggie shit? And I was like, yeah, Biggie Smalls. He was like, nah, don't buy that shit. That's some other nigga. It's the Notorious B.I.G. And I was like, oh. But that's the only time I ever saw the actual
music.
Biggie Smalls do. I wish I would have bought it. You know what I'm saying? It's a piece to
But
keep or whatever.
item. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that's all.
And then the other one joint that I had, this probably gonna mess up y'all, is Mint Conditions' Diary of a Band initially.
Which one was that? Which album was that? The
I
first
think it was the second one, 96.
Third.
Yeah, third one. Yeah.
Initially, I wasn't feeling that, but yeah, I love that joint now.
I think JR hurt, bro.
Well, I mean, it was initially. Like I said, that ain't the same now. Voodoo. I said I couldn't get Voodoo for a year. Now I love it. That's my favorite D'Angelo album.
I got you.
I think Voodoo had me mad. The video had me mad. How does it feel? The lady
I
going
hate that
crazy.
song.
I was like, I could get my body like that. Fuck you talking about?
I think the funny thing with me when I just love I love Sadiq production so much. Like
no doubt.
Like I don't know why those two just don't. I've never understood, and we gotta do a show about just dopest duos like that. I never understood why D'Angelo and Sadiq go out. Like I don't get that.
Did Sadiq do anything on the last album? Nothing.
Ain't do nothing. Like I don't understand. These dudes came up with Lady and Untitled. Like, dog, keep this shit rolling. Like,
for real.
Should be here.
Yeah, you know, just go out there.
Yep.
The last stuff I got is a song. Yo, when this shit came out, I hated this song. This shit would have been like hell for me to listen to this song on Infinity repeat. But Whitney Houston's Shoot off the Waiting XL soundtrack. Yo, I despised that song. Yo,
I agree.
I love that song. Yo, I can listen to Shoot. Now I can listen to it on repeat. I don't know what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Kurt Whalum did an instrumental version of it with the saxophone. And I just loved that. So I think from loving that, it just kind of made me kind of
like the song.
Yeah, like the song much better. Then I got two artists I didn't like when they first came out. One was Freeway. Couldn't stand his voice, couldn't stand his flow. And then on top,
1-900 Hustler.
Yeah, and then on top of that, my young boy is Cassidy. Grew up across the street from me back in Philly. So when Cassidy battled Freeway, it was like already like, I don't give a fuck if Freeway was nice. You battling my young boy, so I got to side with him. But like, I love Freeway now. I love his. I love the fact that his flow is original. I love his everything I hated about him at first. I love about him now, and I love the fact that he stayed in his lane. He didn't try to do the bleak thing and try to be like Jay or try to come like that nigga got with Jake One, put out a solid album, and you know I love that. And the other artist is Frank Ocean. I could not stand Frank Ocean when he first came out. I didn't get the hype. Of course, I love that song, I'm Thinking of You. But, like, the new album he just came out with, what's it called, Blonde? I loved it.
Yeah,
so, that's it for me. Like I said, only hip-hop joint I had on here was that Conway joint. Because if it's hip-hop, if I ain't feeling it, 9 times out of 10,
yeah.
So, Jace, give them all your info, bro.
Real quick, I got to shout out my daughter, Layla, man. 2 weeks ago, I'm a proud father. I love my children. My daughter, they got prom, homecoming, king and queen. My daughter was princess at Bowie State 2 weeks ago. Got her daughter out. Commend her. She had to wave down with no practice. Didn't show how to do it. She went out there, watched the homecoming queen do it, and was on her game. But damn, all that aside, fuck me.
That's what's up.
I guess I get y'all my info now. IG, what is it? Damn. At J Tyler 0801 and on Twitter is at JERKTYLER.
All right, JR, give them all the information, bro.
Oh, well, it's good to be back on the podcast since everyone asked me back, actually. So, y'all can check out Junior's World of Soul, do current R&B bangers, and also throwback joints. So, also check me out on Twitter, Music Soul Nick, Instagram, Music Soul Nick. Check me out. So,
all right, no doubt. Now, here's the wild part. CJR, next week, we're doing a live taping on my podcast. Scratch Magazine is hosting us to do a live.
Yeah, he hit me for that, but he ain't hit me for other shit, but he hit me for that. You remember that, bro? You busy on the 18th? You gonna play? All right. Any other podcast? I'm not asked at all.
Hold on. This is the part that I don't get. Wouldn't you rather go to the strip club than come over my crib and watch the Players Club? Like,
wait a minute, but no, you're not even gonna get that off because but the actually for the topic that we're doing for next weekend is hip hop. So I don't understand how you can't ask me for other hip hop, but you can ask me for that one.
Right. Let me explain something.
Yeah, please. I want your story to be good. You better have a good one, because
let me shout out my Natalia, Bria, Daddy, love you.
Yo,
go get him, JR. Get his ass.
Yes.
I'm gonna show you where the love is, bro. Yo, this is the first live taping of the podcast, and I called you to be there.
But why didn't you ask me about the other ones? You just said before it. No, you said I know you wouldn't want to come on because it's hip hop. He said I know you don't want to do hip hop, but then we're doing a hip hop podcast, and he asked me then. Come on,
my debate teacher told me
the love is there because he want to ask me for that podcast, but everything else, nothing. I get it, Kel. I understand. It's all right. Just own it. Just admit when you're wrong, like Joe Budden said in the joint that you like. At least you like myself on Instagram, so you know who I am on Instagram, but you don't know who I am when it's time to do the podcast. I get it. I understand. So next, Vegas would put in your stuff and all that good stuff. The podcast be on point.
Damn.
This guy say, don't edit this out, Q.
Oh no, I'm not gonna edit it. I don't get it because I'm saying this is something dope. The first live taping of the podcast, and I call
don't try to make me feel like I'm
about to get them
first live podcast, bro. You should feel honored, please. Go ahead, Vegas. It's on you, buddy. Be out, because Kill is trying it right now, so it's all good.
Yeah, you still coming next week, man?
I don't know now. I'm gonna have to check my schedule.
All right, Veg. What's all your information, Veg, where they can check you out at, man?
You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC and check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, on SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast.
All right.
Well, y'all killing me. That boy Vegas professional as hell.
No, he is.
Vegas got to play right in with the radio voice.
I do work in radio.
Vegas,
you know that, right?
Vegas, when you shooter in your past life, you got like the perfect poker face.
Yo, he do, yo.
All right. Y'all know what it is with me, Kill 889 on IG and on Twitter. We'll make beats for food. My book of the week is The Angry Filmmaker Survival Guide. It's written by this kid, Kelly Baker. I met this dude a couple years back at DC Shorts. It's a film festival here in DC. Very dope book. It's teaching you how to make a movie, an independent movie on a budget, on damn near no budget, and just how to, do things like that. So with everybody going the YouTube route and doing independent indie stuff, it's a very dope book to cop if you are interested in learning anything. Even if you're just doing the videos, directing shorts, whatever it is, it's a very dope book to get. So yeah, that's it for me. Everybody, I appreciate JR. I truly appreciate you, man. And yo, I apologize. You ain't been on the show more, man. We gonna get you back in the cut. That's my bad. I thought the live show, would be dope. But maybe it's not, bro. And I just apologize, man. I'm gonna be a bigger man, and just be able to say that to you, man to man on some real shit, man.
A bigger man than what? Were you comparing yourself to him or to something else? You said bigger man than.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He I'm telling you, Kill is underlying his head, yo.
You know what Jason is? You know what okay, thank you, Jay. No, I'm saying I'm trying to be a bigger man than I used to be. You know what I'm saying?
I was just
I used to be. You know what I mean? You gotta learn to admit when you're wrong. And it doesn't matter. I didn't mean to offend you, bro, but if I did, that's the most important thing. It ain't about if I did it on purpose.
It was the most important thing that you offended him or that you apologized?
No, what I'm saying is I didn't mean to offend them. But if you offend somebody, a lot of times we don't apologize because it's like I ain't do that shit on purpose. But you got to grow past that. It ain't about if you meant to do it on purpose. If you were offended, then that's what you got to apologize for. So that's what I'm saying.
Can you accept that, JR? I did all the clarification for you. Can we get past this, JR? Can we hug it out and move on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have.
All right, But, next week, I'm excited. Scratch Magazine is hosting the podcast next week. It should be dope. Gonna be like the drink champs out there. Gonna be a lot of people in the building. A lot of DMV artists are gonna be out there. So should be real dope. I wish everybody could be there. One day we're gonna have to get everybody together in the same.
That's dope.
When is that? When is this?
It's next Saturday. Next Saturday, November 18th.
I could probably come down.
Oh, yo, if you could come down, that'd be perfect. I just spoke to my man Gadget, who runs Scratch tonight. He said we're still good. Everything is, good to go. So, it'll be the first live joint. So it'll be a lot of people there, and they're also selling records. So for all my diggers in the DMV, come out, get some records out, and should definitely be a dope day. So hopefully JR will be there. I don't know. He'll be the surprise guest if he shows up. You know what I mean? Maybe we go get some Chipotle afterwards, like we got to bring it back to Chipotle and just the power it has over us black folk. We get some Chipotle and hug it out. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all next week, y'all.